Creations by Courtney here with section 3 of the Shawldigan crochet along. You should have a big, beautiful shawl at this point, triangle shape, unless you made some modifications like some group members have, where they have made theirs rounded rather than a triangle. Either way, we're at the point of completing all of the rows, which means it is now time for the edging. We're going to be working along the top in our main color, and then we will work along each side, starting with color A with single crochet, and then do a row of reverse single crochet or crab stitches. It's so big, it's trying to get away from me. So we're going to work across here, across the top, fasten off, and then we will work along the sides with the other colors. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, grab my hook. We're going to evenly single crochet. We start with a chain 1, and my preference is 2 single crochet in every double crochet. You can work around the stitch, but it may change how it looks. And on a, if you did an alternate of a chainless starting double crochet like I did here, I pull up a loop from the front and the back. It just makes it neater without pulling the stitch too much. So work 2 single crochet in every double crochet along the top. And if you have chain 3s, that third chain was worked into, so it helps to just work each single crochet into the remaining chains of that starting double crochet / chain 3, just like so, working under 2 loops. When you get to the end of working along the top, you will fasten off. How is it going? We are now at the end of the row. One point I want to make is that around the center, if this is pulled really tight, you are not likely going to be able to get your hook in, so you can put an extra single crochet on either side and then continue with 2 single crochet per double crochet. And when we get to the end, we will fasten off and then join. Yes, I was like, wait, where did this stitch go? And particularly if you did a chainless starting double crochet. So it helps to take the stitch out, kind of hold it up the way it goes. So this loop and this loop are at the top of the stitch. So I tend to pinch those so that I can find the side to work into. So if this is the top of the stitch, I want to work through this loop here, oops, and a loop on this side to really be on the side of the stitch. And there you go. And now you're going to rotate your work. Start with this color. And remember how I pointed out the top of this, since I did a chainless starting, I'm going to make 2 single crochets. And this is what helps shape the corner, each corner. So that's 1, and that's 2. And now we're just going to single crochet in each stitch until you get to the point. And then at the point, you will single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So not as many stitches as in the previous rows. And then you will continue up the other side with single crochets, and then 2 single crochets in the last stitch of that corner. We will come back together once we have made it around to this corner, all the way around. Yep, all the way around, where we will then turn and attach the last color to then make our reverse single crochet. We are back to wrap it up. Before the break in the video, sorry, I know I'm probably talking like an infomercial. I'm at that point, but that's okay. And you may feel this way too. And I will say, if you haven't noticed, there is a lot of fabric here. And what I have learned in this process is that natural fibers act different than acrylic. And having completed the exact same row count, not adding anything, using the same hook, started my gauge the right way, this grew. This is huge and I'm okay. The point is all the way down to my knee. Again, I'm short and I'm cold all the time, so I'm actually really excited. But it may impact the yarn. So I am going to put the yarn used for this sample, as well as the total weight of the original sample, to make that comparison. But anyways, after we got to this point, fastened off, I will weave in all of these ends. You attach in the corner, and that's where we started. You work all the way. The point is different on this round. You just have a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. If you wanted to, you could do 4 single crochet if you want it to be solid, since this is the edge, but I designed it to have a little space to be consistent with the previous rows. And you work all the way around. This is the easiest part. And now here comes the fun. So I have already attached the color. And now it's also a good time to get your yarn needles, scissors, and your buttons. So with this last stitch, actually you want to switch to the next color, color C. The first single crochet in the main color, and this is where the fun starts, okay? We are going to do the crab stitch, aka reverse single crochet. If you are not familiar with it, it is just doing a single crochet but worked backwards. Is the easiest way to explain it. But let me come in close. We are going to chain 1 just like usual. So rather than working this way, we're now going to work this way. And if you're left-handed, you work this way, you'll now go the opposite. You chain 1, and this takes some practice, so be kind to yourself. Without this slipping off, and it's okay that it's loose, right? Because you can tighten a little bit there, or you need to just catch it and pull up. So it's harder to tell with this dark yarn, but it's twisted. Finish, yarn over and pull up. So it does look twisted, right? So let's do that again. Chain 1, work to the right, go through the hook, yarn over, pull through and under. This part, it is really tempting to pull through like a slip stitch, but you do not want to do that. You want to make sure you pull under so that it appears twisted, yarn over, pull through, and then you can tighten. So go to the right, yarn. So it may help, you can do a yarn over, or you can even consider a yarn under. Yarn under just means you catch it and pull up a loop. Actually, I find that easier. Yarn over, pull through 2. Insert into the next stitch. Yarn under in the sense of just catch it, pull up a loop, pull it up in front of the first one, so still in the same order. This is one that started on the hook. This is a loop you just pulled up. Yarn over, pull through 2. So as you see, it is leaning. Look at this side, it's leaning. It's not as cute on the back, and you will reverse single crochet in each stitch. When you get to the point, you'll make 2 reverse single crochets. And see, if you need to double check it, just untwist it to make sure they're in order. And pull through. When you get to the point, you will make 2 reverse single crochets in the chain 2 space, and then continue in each stitch and come across the top here. So the last color is worked all the way around. In the previous ones, row 1 was just along the top, row 2 was along the sides, row 3 all the way around. So I know that was a lot just for the edging, but I wanted it to be really, really clear. And if you have any additional questions, make sure that you ask in the Facebook group, Creations by Courtney Community. If you're not following me here on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe, as well as the notifications. That way you know whenever I upload something new. And once you have completed this last round and fasten off, we will then attach the buttons. Grab your buttons. I'm using these, which are a wood. I think it complements the colors very, very well. You can pick whatever button. And these are a 1 inch or 25 millimeter. And I do recommend, if I can get this off without, there we go. I do recommend buttons with a shank. This helps when attaching, but also when you go to use the button, it does like that. So it gives a little bit of height for using the button. And then you can use this space or even this in order to hold it in place. And if you want, you could use slightly bigger buttons. You don't want to go too big because it'll be hard to get through the stitches. It helps to lay it out. And what I'm actually going to do is fold it in half. So that the points line up. Let me bring the end up so it doesn't slide away. So if this is the outside, this is the inside, you want to think about where you want your buttons to go. So you could choose to put one on this side, so it's here, and then one on the top side, but I'm going to likely put them both on the inside. That way, when crisscrossing like so, they'll just go in. This one will go into the back, this will go on top. So take your button. You can pick whichever yarn you like. Always cut a little bit more than you think you'll need. I think it does help to use a bent bent yarn needle. And you can use a stitch marker to mark where you want to attach your button. But make sure it's one that will fit through the button. It does not have to be exact. You can put it within a stitch, kind of in between a space. I like using this space here kind of between these stitches. So I'm just going to stick the pointy end through. It's okay if it's not exactly through the end. So what I do is that I actually pull a little bit and I'm actually going to tie it for that initial securing. You can use whatever method works for you, but this is just a simple way to keep it from going all over the place. And I'm just going to work through the yarn and the shank a few times. And it does help that when you go to weave in, you take one end, go one direction and another, and the other in the other direction. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it just needs to be enough to secure it. And then do the same on the other side. And I will put a picture at the end once I'm done attaching buttons, weaving in ends of the finished Shawldigan. I hope you have enjoyed this crochet along. Your color choices have been amazing. And I'm so excited to see your finished shawl with you smiling, wearing it, button wrapped, however you are feeling in that moment. So stay tuned for the final reveal.